Hey there, friend. So, you're looking to personalize your Azure Active Directory with a custom domain, huh? Trust me, it's an experience that not only elevates your corporate identity but also tightens your security. Imagine greeting your users by name when they sign in, professional and friendly, all rolled into one. Plus, you know how cool it feels to receive emails at your company's real domain name instead of something generic? Well, now that's about to happen. Imagine we are working with a fictional company, let's call it Pine Solutions, and their domain name is pinesolutions.com. They want to streamline their brand beyond their on-premises applications by integrating with Azure AD. It's like when you sign into a service at home and see home, and it's just so much nicer to just click Azure AD, isn't it? But hey, let's not get too nostalgic. First things first, let's set up the environment. We are not just plugging and playing. We need to link Pine Solutions' custom domain to Azure AD, and this process is like setting up a maze where every turn matters. Now, before we begin, grab a hot cup of coffee or a refreshing glass of water. We might get lost in the details, so stay hydrated, my friend. We start the journey by visiting the Azure portal, where you make your home in the cloud. Once there, navigate to Azure Active Directory in the sidebar and dive into Identity Protection domains. We are on reconnaissance mode, so we don't want to mess with any territories just yet. Finding their custom domain is the next move, but oh no, pinesolutions.com isn't yet registered with Azure. Time for some registration. They'll probably need to handle that outside of this journey since it's more of a diplomatic mission than a step in our process. Let's assume that mission was a breeze, though, and now we have the registration on our hands. Back to Azure portal and we enter add. Remember, pinesolutions.com should be pointing to the right DNS provider, ideally Azure itself, to keep everything snappy and in sync, or use a managed DNS if you are feeling fancy, like the ones from Azure Stack. We give Azure a nod, enter our custom domain details, and if you are anything like me, you make sure securetoday.com is up for grabs next, right? Just joking. That's the SSL thing I just made up. Stick with Azure for real-life scenarios. Wait, where did pinesolutions.com go? Aha, we are not there yet. We need to configure DNS and register the domain to have a secret handshake before we invite it over for Azure AD. Let's check Azure AD Connect, which is like the bridge between Azure Active Directory and your trusty on-premises systems. If you are already friends there, this step's a walk in the park. You just set up the trust and voila, the secret handshake is ready. If the on-premises systems at that early friendship stage with Azure AD Connect, we sync pinesolutions.com's domain information. It's like introducing our friends to their grandparents. They gotta recognize each other, right? With the trust in place, let's revisit the Azure portal and say hello to the added domain. The name should now appear in the domain list, and boom, you are part of the Pine Solutions family. Next, we are going to beef up the security layer. We add a single, secure TXT record in Azure's custom DNS records, ensuring pinesolutions.com holds a secret of Azure Active Directory's domain name verification. Testing the new connection, directing users to pinesolutions.com to sign in, and verifying they land on their Azure AD page. That's the cherry on top. We check the journey for any potential potholes along the way, and if anything's out of sync, we smoothly set it back on path with Azure Active Directory's guidance. Now to the advanced stuff. Just for kicks, Let's say pindsolutions.com has a rogue mailbox or something quirky. We troubleshoot with some Azure-driven detective work, using Azure AD users and groups to track issues like incorrect email forwarding within the custom domain. Maintaining the domain? Well, it's like tending to a garden. Keep those NS, SOA, and MX records pristine, update security-related Azure DNS records, and ensure your certificate isn't wilting with time. Now, remember the pindsolutions.com saga? It's going like this, but with some extra pizzazz. After setting things up, they want to test out the custom domain's email to avoid embarrassing delivery mishaps or ensure their brand's online presence is as robust as their IT infrastructure. With their custom domain now part of Azure AD, their users sign in using familiar on-premises credentials, but with pindsolutions.com as the backdrop. And when pindsolutions.com sends out its first all-important email from Azure's mailbox, it's time to celebrate with champagne, cause it would be nice if it worked out. And here comes the part where we wrap it up, a quick shout out for following through and maintaining the setup, because life's a marathon not a sprint, right? Remember, before I bid you sweet adieu, make sure to check out pindsolutions.com on my blog. It's got all the deep, nitty-gritty details of Azure's realm, and I've got my fingers crossed for all of you. Visit neeraj.qzz.io and subscribe to TechLab for more intriguing dives into tech. Stay awesome.